So to me, what a cultural frame of reference means, well, I believe that it pretty much comes from how we're raised by our family. So basically, however you interpret someone else's cultural differences depends on your culture, whatever you were raised with, whatever is normal to you.
Yeah, so I like to take it in two parts. Your frame of reference starts off with being your set of values and beliefs that you use to act upon certain situations in the world. So specifically with culture, it comes back to how you were raised and the people you were raised around. So in my case, I was raised around a primarily white background. So when I first came to college, it was very different. I had a different perspective on things, and then it's obviously very much changed through my experiences here at college. But nonetheless, through those experiences and through my experiences before college have very much affected the way I think about the world, and that's cultural frame of reference.
Hey.
I think your cultural frame of reference is the ways in which you perceive the world and choose to interact with it based on where you were brought up or who raised you. I think it's also worth noting that your cultural frame of reference can change depending on what cultures you've interacted with throughout your life and who's impacted the way you think.
Cultural frame of reference. Well, think of a frame, I like to start out with, and look inside the frame. I think your cultural frame of reference is how you view the world based on the environment you grew up in and based on where you came from. So it depends on your background, socioeconomic status. A lot of that attributes to it, but it's how you perceive the way, like different perspectives and looking at different qualities in different people. You may be walking down the street and one person sees something and someone else sees a different thing. So it's really cool to see different cultural frames and references because it's really about learning about different perspectives and about education around the world.
Nice. I think a cultural frame of reference, like for me, growing up in Tampa, we are like a very loud Cuban, Hispanic, Catholic family, so I think a lot of things that I use for frame of reference are different to other people. So my family operates at a very high volume, and we speak a lot of Spanish in the middle of English conversations, and we always are talking over each other, and I think here in the South that's kind of interpreted as like yelling and fighting and like anger, but really that's just how we operate. So I think that's like a really big cultural change, and that's a personal cultural frame of reference that when my family came in and my friends, my roommates thought that it was weird how loud we were speaking. I was like, this is normal volume, why are you so judgy?
Cultural frame of reference, I think, is a value or a set of beliefs and values that you perceive in this world. Is any type of thing that you define as a cultural certain type of background, such as what you believe in, certain type of values of families and friends, and also the type of values that you display in certain type of jobs and everything.
So a cultural frame of reference is sort of like the ideas you have about something based on maybe your culture or the culture you're perceiving of someone else. So if I'm looking at a person and I'm assuming that maybe they have Native American heritage, I might assume certain things about them because of their culture and their ethnic identities and those sorts of things.
It's kind of like a set of values that shapes how you see a culture, or like how you view the world around you, values that determine that.
To me, at least what I see a lot among my friends and other freshmen is them trying to learn how to balance social life and academics as new freshmen in college.
To me, the biggest cultural frame of reference would probably be religion. From where I'm from, Christianity is like a really big part of life, so we hold that pretty dear to our hearts.
Absolutely.
So a cultural frame of reference is kind of the background that may define somebody's influence on their personal beliefs or a situation or really anything. Everybody's going to kind of have their own cultural frame of reference because it's part of what makes you who you are. And a lot of it is your upbringing, maybe some of the beliefs that your parents had, your community growing up. It's what defines you as a person. So everything that you learned or you believe influences your frame of reference on maybe a topic or anything like that. So that's just kind of a general answer to that.
A cultural frame of reference is the values and beliefs that people have depending on what kind of family they come from, and those values and beliefs may change the more they experience different cultures and interact with different people.
Absolutely. To me, a cultural frame of reference refers to the place where you grew up and how that impacts how you interact with other people, how you interact with the world. Also, who you hang around and stuff like that also can contribute to your cultural reference.
Probably just your ideas, beliefs, and the values that help a person determine how they perceive everyday life.
Okay, a cultural frame of reference to me, I guess a few values and beliefs that I uphold within myself. Being here at Clemson, your religion gets challenged here a lot, and for me, God has always been there for me to support me in everything I do here at Clemson campus, and using my platforms with being an orientation ambassador, being within Call Me Mister, and just really providing me everything I need, and knowing that.
Alright, so throughout this video process, I've thoroughly enjoyed it. Just learning about different experiences and different explanations of what a cultural frame of reference is. To me, a cultural frame of reference is the sets, values, beliefs, and ideas that shape how you perceive the world and how you carry out your everyday life. And I've heard that throughout so many explanations I was given, and I definitely believe that everybody has like a brief but same like consensus on what a cultural frame of reference is. And I believe that everybody has their own personal experiences that shape their own cultural frame of reference. So it was definitely a great opportunity, great video project, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. Thank you.